Big Blue Nation is here early and in full force for one of the most anticipated matchups of the year. And they are loud here inside historic Memorial Coliseum, where 16th ranked Kentucky looks to add another line to their already postseason ready resume. And we're almost set for tip. It's a sold-out historic Memorial Coliseum. It's South Carolina and Kentucky in the final game of the SEC regular season, and we're ready to go here in Lexington. And it will be the Gamecocks who win the opening tip. Billy Smith, Maggie Tiemann, and Timothy Green are officials. And South Carolina comes into this game the SEC regular season champions, and they're on the board early as Madina Okot has her first basket. For Kentucky, an up and down year. They've dealt with injuries, but their starting lineup, led by Tony Morgan, recently set the program's single season assist record. Early pressure there, nearly throws it away. He works into the paint, has it stripped. Here comes Joyce Edwards, averaging over 20 points per game in recent play. South Carolina team that's won 9 in a row. Latson kicking it out. Okot looking for three. Too strong, in the rebound to Teonni Key. Kentucky with a pair of top 5 wins this year over LSU and Oklahoma, but they'd love to get another one here today as Key has her first basket on senior day.
That's exactly what you'd like to see, as your seniors really get untracked here, have a good day. South Carolina just going inside early to Okot. She's been sensational for South Carolina.
A lot of new faces, some familiar. The Johnsons, Raven and Tessa. But Tania Latson has been a huge piece. So is Okot, and she's got 4 here in the early stages. Dawn Staley, she has 3 national championships to her name and could very easily add another one this season.
This team is peaking at the right time. They're playing their best basketball. All the things you want in the postseason as you get ready for postseason are happening for South Carolina.
Clara Strack on the board for Kentucky. She's been one of the most well-rounded centers in the country this season.
Such great touch for Clara outside the paint.
Turned over, here come the Wildcats. Morgan trying to find Boone. Good closeout by Tania Latson, the Florida State transfer. Key looking inside. Strack working on Okot and gets it to go. The high-low game. We knew there was going to be a war inside that blue paint in this game. Here's Latson, wild shot. And the rebound to Hassett, nearly thrown away, but Kentucky fortunate to hang on. Turnovers have been an issue in big games for them this year. Morgan, too strong.
A little hesitation there for Tony Morgan as she was looking to distribute.
And Raven Johnson will cash in on the game's first 3.
And just so quick, coming off that screen, knowing exactly where she wants the ball, wants to pull the trigger. So tough to defend.
Fed inside, Key had that one deflected. Wildcats coached by Kenny Brooks in his 2nd season at the helm. They've been fantastic here at home, north of an 80% winning percentage. A win today could catapult Kentucky up into that hosting spot that they were left out of in the release earlier today. They hosted a year ago in the first year of the Kenny Brooks era. Here's Strack just wide open. Couldn't make South Carolina pay, but a no board comes. Strack spinning, Edwards denied it.
Really athletic play by Edwards to not only block the shot, but then keep it in bounds, get it to a teammate. But this is what that young lady does on both ends of the floor. So dangerous.
First look at Okot McKeer, and she'll walk. Number 6 prospect in the class of 2025. Hassett trying to settle in, looking for the first 3, and he'll deliver it.
And when you consider how physical and what a grind this SEC is, that is a tough, tough tournament. Whoever comes out of there as champion of the SEC has really done something in streaks, and that you can have droughts, scoring droughts. You've got to go hard the entire time. But I like what I saw South Carolina doing there with Edwards. That's a matchup issue there with Tony Morgan. She wins there, so that ball didn't go for her, but that's a great matchup, and I like what they're doing.
Edwards working coast to coast. Boone They pick up the foul, and that'll put Joyce Edwards at the free throw line, a National Player of the Year candidate. She has scored 20-plus points in 3 consecutive games, entering today's game at 23 in the 112-71 victory over Missouri. To become just the second player under Dawn Staley to average over 20 points per game. You've probably heard of the other one, Asia Wilson, one of the best players in the world.
It's incredible company there if you're Joyce Edwards. And a real testament to what her ability is here.
Key was being hounded. Now Obi drives. Couldn't finish off the glass, and the rebound goes to Okot, who's already been a force to be reckoned with 5 rebounds here early. Edwards was running the floor. Off the glass it goes.
Lost a shoe.
Strack picks up her first.
4 white jerseys there, nothing they can do.
This is a South Carolina team, one of the fastest in the country. They love to get out in transition, and they've been one of the best at converting when given those opportunities. Unable to convert the free throw. A tight 1-point game here with under 3 to go in the first. Morgan off the glass for her first basket. Scored double digits in 14 of 16 SEC contests. Johnson just wide open in the easy finish.
From the guard perspective, if Tony Morgan gets knocked down, says, hey, wait a minute, where's the foul? But that's just it. You got to play through the contact. Sometimes you get the call, sometimes you don't. You keep playing.
Morgan gets the call that time. Tony Morgan, one of 5 SEC point guards on the Nancy Lieberman Point Guard of the Year top 10 mid-season watch list. Had some big shoes to fill. Georgia Amor, who's actually in the building for this game tonight.
So great to see her back. She looks great, getting healthy.
She was the number 6 pick in the WNBA draft last offseason. Here's Okot. She's going to be a high pick if she continues to knock down threes like that. It's become a bigger part of her game lately.
When you're 6'6" and can step out and shoot like that, so dangerous.
Here's Kentucky's unicorn, Clara Strack. There's Okot and Strack matched up. Latson trying to get downhill, spins into some open real estate and converts.
Just some real patience for Latson to not force it up on at the first opening.
Kentucky called for the over and back. Kenny Brooks screaming that there was a touch.
Got a little too physical there. But that's what South Carolina will do to you. They can absolutely shoot. Got to make some quick decisions, just like that. If you don't make that decision quickly, you're going to try to go under that screen.
Works to the basketball. Tony Morgan, the point guard, off the floor. Trying to get free. Goes to Strack, pulls over McDaniel, and airballs the long 2. And it is the South Carolina Gamecocks who will lead by 6 after 1 here in Lexington, a top 20 matchup.
Really, really crucial for her to be back in this lineup for Kentucky.
It felt like Kentucky was just starting to figure things out. That thrilling buzzer beater by Tony Morgan to take down LSU in Baton Rouge, and then Key goes out. They had to reinvent themselves and then do it again. Here's Edwards, had that blocked by Carroll. And now a foul, and will that be number 2 on Clara Strack? It is.
Exactly what South Carolina wants.
Strack averaging over 19 points per game over her last 7. Edwards hit the first. The lead now 8, the largest it has been for the Gamecocks. 28 in 2, led by 2 with just over 5 minutes to go in that first quarter, but since then it's been all Gamecocks, an 11-2 run. That will end right there as Morgan has her second basket of the afternoon.
Tony Morgan's been successful getting herself to the rim. Hasn't gotten a couple of calls, but can play through the physicality.
Latson was just rejected by Hassett.
More of that in the paint. South Carolina really an efficient team in the paint.
Have to stay close to Tessa Johnson from downtown. That's a long 2. Okot
just changes things for South Carolina's offense when your big can step out and shoot like that.
And an offensive foul That's going to go against Tony Morgan. 8-point South Carolina lead. Tessa Johnson, the top three-point shooter in the league this year in terms of percentage, dumps it off. Okot, look at her just grab that over Obi. Kick out, Johnson wants the three, she'll can it.
We saw all the white jerseys just collapse down on Okot. Oh, no question, just a sensational season.
Strack eyeing a three of her own, couldn't convert. Okot driving on Strack. She has two personals. And Okot continues her assault on the paint. 11 points, 8 rebounds here in the first half. Obi got Johnson in the air, steps up, hits over Edwards.
That's a shot Jordan Obi really needed to get to go down when she's had 2 shots at point blank range that didn't go. Those can be so hard on you mentally.
Into Edwards,
really
off
nice.
the glass. And carnage after the fact. And a timeout coming on the floor. South Carolina up big at the midway point of the second.
Okot getting it done on the inside, just showing that she can muscle it. Getting it done inside and outside, but beautiful little give and go here by Edwards.
Great post players at South Carolina, and Madina Okot quickly joining that cabinet of excellent players inside.
Getting on the offensive glass, there you saw her with great positioning, and then just steps out, calm, cool, and collected. Beautiful looking shot from outside. 1 rebound away from a double-double. She's got 11 points, 9 rebounds, really doing it all for Kentucky and for South Carolina. Really important for Clara Strack to get going as well, to find some ways to get involved in the offense. Now's a good time to be able to do that with Okot on the bench. Really get herself going to work here. There you see, they want to go right into her immediately.
And Strack will convert. She's turned herself into one of the best centers in the country as a junior here. Joined Kenny Brooks from Virginia Tech when he took the job. Deep in the shot clock. Edwards denied by Key. Got her own miss. Shot clock did not reset. Latson, step back, over Strack, the bank open.
My goodness.
She averaged north of 25 points per game a year ago at Florida State, scoring down, but her overall game dramatically improved this year. She is a consensus first-round pick in the upcoming WNBA draft. Key working on Tornabees and the long arm of the law, keeping Key off the glass.
Well, they substituted size for size.
These two teams came in 1 and 2 in terms of blocks per game in the SEC. Right now, South Carolina has the edge 5-2. Deep in the shot clock, Obi's got to make something happen. Pulls over Johnson. The long 2 won't go. Battle for the basketball. And that's an area that they've asked Alicia Tornabees to improve. Couldn't grab the offensive rebound. Edwards locating Johnson. Now over to Raven Johnson. Her 3 is handled by Key. Strack and Key teaming up for that rebound.
Well, they're lucky they didn't get called for a travel there.
Or a tie-up. Under 2 to go in this first half from Lexington. Kentucky led early. South Carolina with an 11-point lead at the moment. Tornabees matched up on Teonni Key. Strack, the step over, and looking like a guard as she puts in the teardrop. Deep in the shot clock. Latson lobbing it in for Edwards. Kentucky has defended that well both times. Wild shot for Edwards. And Kentucky has a chance to further cut into the deficit. Boone just can't find any open real estate right now. Key didn't pull the jumper.
Everybody wanted her to.
Now Boone eyeing the 3. Off the mark. Another try. It'll go!
absolutely working on communication. That's something we hear Kenny Brooks talk about all the time, is communicate. You have to know, what are we going to do with the screen? Are we going over? Are we going under? We all have to be on the same page, and especially on those defensive rotations, we have to know what we're doing and all be on the same page. I think we saw that a little disjointed in that first quarter for Kentucky.
About a 7-second difference between shot and game clock here at the end of this first half. Johnson with it in the corner. Here's McDowell up top, over Hassett. Might have been deflected. Kentucky can get a final shot here of this opening half. Boone with it at midcourt. Strack stepping into it. And just strong. You know it's a big game when college basketball sensation Red Panda is in the house. She thrilled here at halftime inside historic Memorial Coliseum. I don't know how you do that, Chrissy.
I don't get it. But we got to figure out how to. We want to be the ones that hand her the bowls and like toss her the bowls and do some things. But she's amazing.
Kentucky buoyed by this sold-out crowd inside historic Memorial Coliseum, getting right back in this game with an 8-0 run. Their defense stepped up at the end of that first half, and they will start with the basketball here inside a sold-out historic Memorial Coliseum for the 5th time in the Kenny Brooks era.
You get to this point in the season, and these teams know everything there is to know about each other. So at this point, it's being able to do things just like that, where you can step up when you were struggling to shoot, struggling to knock down shots, and be able to find a way to get it done. It's my bad, knowing, hey, next time I got to take that shot.
Here's Latson, turns the corner, got a step. That one was blocked out of bounds. Both teams have had strong interior presences early.
Ooh. Amelia Hassett looked at the official and said, I didn't touch it. She was right.
Edwards with the easy finish.
I think we'll see her far more involved in the Gamecock offense.
Here's Morgan amongst the trees, nowhere to go. Kick out, Key, the long two, offensive rebound, and Strack is gonna head to the free throw line. South Carolina has done such a great job in this game at playing defense without fouling. That was just their 3rd foul.
And to your point, it's kept Kentucky off the line. They only attempted 2 free throws in the first half, so.
This Wildcats team has struggled in against good teams this year. Raven Johnson, a great find, and Okot has another 2. That foul called on Madina Okot, that's her 2nd. Something to keep an eye on. Strack got Okot in the air, now rises up over her. She's got 14. Kentucky continuing to stay neck and neck right now with the Gamecocks in a game that they really needed to win here today in Lexington. Down low, Edwards. And a foul coming against Kentucky. That's on Strack. It's her 3rd.
She gets called for her 3rd.
Kenny Brooks, you can probably sense this moment, this game, and that's why you keep Clara Strack out there with 3 fouls.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that she's way too valuable on both ends of the floor. Edwards really struggling from the free throw line. 3 of 7 today.
This is both there. Kentucky can tie with a 3. Edwards playing some good defense on Strack. Boone matched up on Latson. Boone shedding, Latson, step back 3! And Boone with a little stare down afterwards. This game is tied at 37.
My goodness, what a step back. And that's what you do. If you're South Carolina, that's how you answer. You go inside to Okot. There's no question, no hesitation. Believing in yourself as a shooter.
She came into today 2nd in the SEC and made 3s, trailing only Justine Passat, Vanderbilt sharpshooter.
We've also seen Kentucky be more organized on defense.
Strack threw it away. Okot to the rim.
She had no choice there with 3 fouls. Clara Strack didn't want to foul again, but you got to give credit to Okot in the passing lanes, which South Carolina's done so well, being able to take it the distance.
Morgan with a nice response. She's been a little bit quiet today, just 6 points now, 4 assists. 2-point game. McDaniel working baseline kick out. Johnson with the answer.
Really nice. You think it, again, in the SEC tournament, teams like South Carolina that get that double bye, that have to play fewer games, that understand what it means to be there. They've won it before, they get it.
Another opportunity created. Morgan passed up the 2 to get a better look. Can't convert. Offensive rebound. Key had it blocked. And now Dowda comes up with the rebound.
Morgan landed awkwardly on a knee, ankle, something.
She was surprised she didn't get called for the turnover there on the walk. North Carolina up by 5. Boone tried to draw the offensive foul. No call. Johnson calmly sinks the long 2. Raven Johnson, one of the best on-ball defenders in the country. Inside for Key. Working on the senior Dowda. Off the glass, no. And Edwards cleans the glass. South Carolina pushing right now, trying to get the lead back to double figures. Johnson with the easy finish. And a timeout coming for Kentucky. And to your point, Christy, it really does feel like it has been a game of runs between these two teams today. Right now, South Carolina on a 7-0 run. They lead by 9. Just over 3 minutes to go in this third quarter. Asia Boone's hit a couple of big threes here in this third. Clara Strack spun into a double team. Morgan tried to grab it with one hand. 2 may have been better. It goes out of bounds and back to South Carolina.
Well, I've loved what they're doing just in terms of penetrating and kicking. We've seen them go inside, working on Okot, drive and kick. That then opens things up.
A kick there by Jordan Obi. Possession stays with the Gamecocks. 3 national championships for this South Carolina program. Last in 2024, lost in the final last year to a very good UConn squad. This capacity crowd was into this game earlier. Held silent for the moment. Boone trying to find Strack. She's just being yanked inside. No call. But they reset to Obi. She finds Strack for 2.
Well, that was the right entry pass, no question about it. Asia Boone had her the first time. Clara Strack really working hard. Gonna get a call there eventually on Dowda.
Raven Johnson up and over Teonni Morgan.
So tough.
She's got 9.
Just creating. So tough.
South Carolina 7 for their last 8 from the field. Again into Strack, Kentucky goes. Matched up on Edwards. Nowhere to go. Morgan lost the basketball. 3 turnovers in the last couple of possessions for Teonni Morgan.
Just some uncharacteristic play and mistakes out of Teonni Morgan. We've seen her pressing and really trying hard. That's one there when you just really can't get anything to go. She's had 2 layups that are normally shots that'll go.
South Carolina has taken the energy out of this sold-out historic Memorial Coliseum with this big 13-2 run. McDaniel holding for the final shot of the third. Dowda coming with the screen. McDaniel downhill on Strack, all the way to the 10. It won't fall. Everything but the basket. It would not go for McDaniel. South Carolina up by 13.
Johnson doing a great job of just creating on the offensive end. And then here, just so tough defensively, giving them the biggest lead of the second half.
Dawn Staley telling us earlier today that she's been incredibly proud with how this team has come together throughout the year. All these new pieces, and now looking like a true championship contender as we head into the month of March. Johnson pulling the tray. Hassett has the rebound, but coughs it up. Kentucky just can't get out of their own way as Johnson wedgies it. Okot will clean it up quickly. Strack is going to war inside with Okot. They go to her. Kicking it out for Hassett. Just 6 points in the game for Amelia Hassett. Strack looking for 2. Okot keeps it in play.
Okot absolutely affecting that shot. Maybe even gotten a hand on it.
Kentucky shooting just over 30% in this second half. South Carolina has dialed up the defense. This has been a favorable matchup. Johnson on Strack. Now the bounce pass. Edwards off the window. Okot secures her double-double. Gives up the basketball. Strack has it. It's been a little sloppy for both teams to begin this fourth quarter.
No doubt, yeah. That's Edwards. I'd like to see her be a little more aggressive and take that shot, make that happen.
Boone hits for 2, and that's 1,000 for her career. Came in needing 10. That 2 gives her 11. Asia Boone over the 1,000-point plateau. Needed an upset to further their postseason aspirations, trying to host for the second year in a row. Okot's roll comes up short.
Well, that doesn't go, but that's a great, I love that action for South Carolina.
In for Strack, and Kentucky's methodically working their way back in within 9.
Again, Clara Strack showing you that she can score a lot of different ways.
Dawn Staley not pleased with her team's start to the fourth quarter. Okot has secured her 7th straight and 20th double-double of the year. Came in inside the top 6 in the country in that department. Kentucky needs stops down the stretch. They're not going to get one there, as Okot now has 19 on the afternoon.
We've seen the Gamecocks do that this entire game, the entire season. It's that drive and dish. Great awareness.
Strack losing Okot. Those two are dueling right now. 4th in SEC play. A 9-point game. Latson, offensive foul.
Really smart heads-up defensive play by Asia Boone. Great job by Asia Boone to play that big-time play that Cats need big, really big.
Strack goes to work again. She's taking over here in the 4th. Kentucky back within 7. One of the lone holdovers from the early years of this South Carolina dynasty. Okot has it blocked. Kentucky trailing by 7. Strack locates Key off the window. It's a 5-point game here in the fourth quarter. Kentucky eyeing another defensive stop. Johnson. And they secure the stop. They can make it a 1-possession game here with a 3. Boone's hit 3 of those today. The next 3 would tie her with Ryan Howard for the program's single-season record. They go into Strack, who's been excellent in this second half. Has the mismatch. Draws the double. In for Key. Working. And finishing. 3-point game. And listen to this crowd. A sold-out historic Memorial Coliseum. Big Blue Nation's been waiting to get back into this game. This game's starting to have a very similar feel to the one these two teams played last year. Kentucky got within 1 in the fourth quarter. It was 65-64. And then South Carolina went on a 10-0 run. Johnson out of the timeout, responds, lead back to 5. He was so big in that win against number 6 LSU a couple weeks ago, trying to take her team to the promised land as Strack hits another. Johnson has the matchup on Obi. Now McDaniel flanked by Boone. Johnson, no! Kentucky slowing down the pace.
Great look for Johnson, though. That's exactly what they wanted, coming off of that staggered screen. It was a great look, just didn't go.
And a bit surprising here, Kenny Brooks will use his final timeout.
So that really changed who they were in a lot of ways, and they had to become a little different.
Kentucky came into this game trying to change their tournament outlook. They were a 9 seed at the start of the day in the SEC tournament. A win would help their case. Here's Obi spinning into the paint. High off the glass, it almost went. but she will head to the free throw line. One of those situations, Christy, if you're Johnson, you raise your hand and you say, call the foul on me.
That's right, me, that's it, yes, take one for the team in more ways than one, yes.
Taken out of the starting lineup 4 games ago in place of Asia Boone. We'll miss it there. Strack's battling, and Clara Strack got called for the foul. They were going for this basketball.
She was lobbying for that exact call that she didn't get the other way. Yeah.
It's been a physical game. That one goes against Kentucky. A 2-point game, and Big Blue Nation, who sold out historic Memorial Coliseum today, is on their feet. South Carolina's won 9 straight, 21 out of their last 22. Johnson, short. Kentucky has not led since the 5:11 mark in the first quarter. They can take the lead with a 3. Boone has 3 of those threes to her name. Couldn't get it into Strack. Under 10 on the shot clock. Key driving off the glass, no good. Strack goes to the deck. And a jump ball tie-up. It'll be possession arrow South Carolina with 6.6 to go. Where they lost, there was still a way that they could secure a single bye. A win would have really helped. Into Johnson, a quick foul. A full second went off the clock. That'll be just the second foul on Kentucky. They have to repeat that 3 times.
Well, they have to. It has to be quicker than where they were. I mean, it has to be a much quicker. Yeah.
And another full second goes off. So even if you're able to get South Carolina to the game with about a second going off each time, you won't have much to work with.
Yeah, this is where.
And Kentucky's 2 players collide. Okot off the glass to seal things here in Lexington. South Carolina survives on the road. They've won 10 straight, 22 out of their last 23. And the next time you'll see Dawn Staley's Gamecocks will be as the #1 overall seed at the SEC tournament this week in Greenville.
Well, I think for South Carolina, they are so happy to get out of Lexington with a win, regardless of how many points it was. They did not want a letdown as they head into next week in the SEC tournament.